Hello, welcome to Cards by Kate Fletcher. Today I'm going to do a review style video on the Nuvo Embellishment mousse. These are something that I haul fairly regularly on the channel, and it's a product I really love and I love to use. But I realised that after the haul video is all said and done, it's not something you get to see or hear much about. So I thought what I'd do is a really quick video explaining why I love these, showing you a few different things you can do with these mousses, and also talking about some of the tools I use with them as well. So I currently have about half the colours in the range. I store them in a wooden drawer, and the drawer is actually pretty full right now, so I can't actually buy any more until I've used some up. I also make sure that when they're in this drawer, the lids are on really tight. And also I keep the foil lid on the mousses. That's to try and stop them from drying out. They are water based, but I have heard other people say theirs have dried out. So I'm trying to stop mine from doing that because I've invested this much in them. I don't want them all drying out. The next thing I do when I get my mousses is I swatch them out. Now I downloaded these swatch sheets off the internet. They're the Nuvo ones for these mousses, and it means I can see at a glance what colours I have, what works well together, and what they're going to look like when they're on a project. So I really like to swatch out the colours because it gives me a feel for the product, and it's also really relaxing to sit and swatch out the different colours. The reason I love these mousses so much are because they are a really versatile product. It's not a one-trick pony. It's not a product where you can do only one thing and that's it. Literally, there are so many different techniques, styles, and looks you can achieve with these mousses that you really get a lot for your money when you have these. So I'm going to run through a few different techniques you can do with them and show you how different techniques give you different results. So Nuvo Embellishment mousses are a water-based product, and they also have the mica powder in them, and what you end up with is a really beautiful iridescent sheen on your projects. This can add dimension as well, which I'm going to cover off in a second. But you get in these pots 62.5 grams or 2.2 ounces, and they last a really long time as well. I always buy them when they're on offer, and Nuvo often have offers at the weekend, on Black Friday, Christmas, New Year. Definitely worth keeping an eye out. And the other thing I found is that their customer service is really good. I had one 10 up, I think it was one of the Black Friday ones that I bought, and it had been opened and used, and they replaced it really fast, so I don't have any issue with Tonic's customer service. So let's jump into what these can actually do. So the first thing you can do is obviously use them on a project through a stencil. So I'm just going to put my stencil onto my table here, and luckily my magnets will stick to the table. So I'm going to be using this. Now this actually came in the Paper Craft Society boxes. It's like a spatula type thing, but I really like it for applying the mousses through stencils. So let's start with this one. Is Fusion Red, and you can really control how much is going on and how it goes on, which is really, really nice. And the excess easily goes back into the pot when you're done. And you can easily create ombre effects as well, which is what I'm going to do on this card blank. So I'm starting with the Fusion Red. These are really creamy to work with, and they go down really, really nicely. So that's the Fusion Red down. Just going to clean my spatula off so I'm not cross-contaminating colours. And I'm going to now go into Triple Berry. And this will give us a really nice blend when you're using it through the stencil. So what I'll do is I will speed the video up and I will bring it back to regular time when I have laid all the colours down. Little bit of a technical hitch in the middle there, but let's see how this has now come out. How beautiful is that? Really, really, really pretty, and the dimension where it's gone through the stencil is just stunning. So if you used the brushes that kind of look a bit like shaving foam brushes, it goes on like a paint, but I don't have those to be able to do that. I've just seen other people do it. So to turn that into a card now, all I need is a sentiment across there and it's basically done. So that's the first thing you can do, is stenciling. Because they are water based, they come off the stencil really easily with just a bit of water, and I normally use the nail brush and it comes right off, so it's not going to mark your stencils. So the next thing you can do with these, you can use them as a base layer on your card, and then you can stencil over the top. So I'm going to use Poppy Pink to create the base layer. And this cardstock is the Dovecraft plain white that I recently bought. What I've also found is with these mousses, the more you play with them, the easier they will spread. So I'm just using my spatula to drag them down the paper, and the more I play with it, the creamier and the easier it gets to spread. Don't know why that is, it just seems to be what happens with them, but it's creating an iridescent colour on my cardstock. So this is going to dry really, really quickly. I'm just going to put it to one side and clean up my desk. So all I need to do is squirt some water down, and that will wipe right up because it's water based. So it lifts straight off. So this is basically almost dry already. So I can now go over the top of that with a stencil and add more Nuvo mousses to this. So if I bring in this swirly stencil and hold it in place with my magnets, I can come in with lemon sorbet. And let's use, this is one of the Nuvo tools. I'm just going to spread this over the top. Moment of truth. How beautiful is that? You get the shimmer from the pink underneath, and then you have the beautiful dimension of the yellow coming through. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I know it's ripped the paper slightly there, but a quick sentiment across there and that is card done. So easily hid. I probably hadn't left it to dry enough before I pulled it off, but isn't that beautiful? One of the other things you can use the embellishment mousses for is to colour wooden shapes. So these are some that I bought off AliExpress, and I've used my embellishment mousses to colour them, and I think they've come out really, really nicely. It's a lot softer than using a marker, and I particularly like the cow. I think he's beautiful. I've also done some shapes that I was sent in Happy Mail, and also the word dream. So I think these have come out really, really nicely. Can definitely use these on projects, in the scrapbook, in my journal, you name it, I can use them. But really nice way to colour the wooden shapes and give a nice soft colour rather than the harsh colour of markers. So that's another thing I have used the mousses for. So the next thing I want to show you is how you can use them for watercolouring. So I have my watercolour brush here, and I have used Tonic watercolour card that I hauled in January time. Again, I hauled it and then you never hear or see anything about it, so I thought I would include it in this video. I've stamped a nice sort of floral image there, and I'm just going to speed up the video while I watercolour this. I'm going to be using the mousses on my blending mat here. I also have a spray bottle of water, but the brush has water in it because it's a watercolour brush. So the next thing I want to show you is how easy it is to blend these together to create a really pretty background. So I've just got a piece of white cardstock. This is the Dovecraft 300 GSM, and I'm going to grab Fusion Red. I'm going to grab Pink Flambe, and let's go with Orange Blush because I'm loving that one today. So I'm going to start with, let's actually start with the Orange Blush, and I'm going to grab a tiny bit out onto the mat with the spatula, and I'm just going to work it a little bit with the spatula. Okay. Now you can use sponges to do this, but I'm actually just going to use my finger. Now somebody has said to me before that if you put your finger straight into the mousse, it can what's the word? It can contaminate them is the word I'm looking for, and then apparently they can actually go bad. So I don't put my finger direct in there, that's why I've put a little bit on the mat and I'm just blending it out. Now these do dry quite quick, so I'm going to have to work fairly fast. I'm just getting a really good layer on here. Apologies if it's shaking. You can already see the beautiful iridescent sheen coming through. So next we'll go with the Fusion Red. Just going to clean my spatula off before I move on. So this is really nice either as a background, or you could then die cut it, or you could stamp. It's entirely up to you, but it creates a really nice blended background. It's just an alternative to using inks, and it does give you that iridescent even finish. So I'm just gonna wipe that off on my finger and start blending. They blend together so easily, and it creates a really beautiful effect. So let me know if you would like a part 2, because I'm only touching on a few of the things that these mousses can do. There are so many different things they can do. So if you'd like another video on these mousses, drop me a comment and I will see what I can do. Also, do you have these? Do you have a favourite colour in these? I don't think I could pick a particular favourite. I just think they're all so beautiful when they go down. Okay, so we are starting to get a blend, and we're going to finish with Pink Flambe. Oh, this one has started to dry out a little bit, but as I say, I can work it with the spatula and then it goes creamy again. And I think if I added water as well, that would probably help, because as I keep saying, they are water-based products. But look, once you start blending it, you would not know that that had been dry and crackly a minute ago. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I could die cut that, I could use that as a background, I could stamp over that. So many different things I could just do with that, but it's got the beautiful iridescent shine to it. I think it's stunning. So just a few of the tools that you can use with the Nuvo mousses. Obviously you have the tools that are direct from Nuvo for using with the mousses, but some of the things you can use are the spray bottles and spray pens for adding water to dilute them down, to do watercolouring, resist, all that kind of thing. You've got palette knives. So when I started out with these, I didn't have crafting palette knives, so these are literally cake ones that I had in the drawer, but they worked just as well. I did then get the palette knife from Papercraft Society, which is my go-to tool. I think out of all the tools, these are the two that I use the most. And then you've seen me use this a lot today. It's my watercolour brush, and again, this can create lots of different effects. This is a background I've also made, not on camera obviously, but using a few of the different tools. So I spread the inks across, blended them with my finger, and then I also pounced one of the tools to create the texture, which is a pretty fun technique to do. This is what the finished cards look like. So I've just added flowers and a sentiment to this one, and then matted it onto that really pretty foiled cardstock. Then this one I matted it onto hot pink foiled cardstock, and I've used the blended background to stamp the sentiment on and then cut it down for my banner. So I think that's really effective. And then this one is my absolute favourite. I think that looks so effective. I love the watercolour effect, and then I've just added some black cardstock and I've heat embossed the thinking of you, and I think that's really, really pretty. So that is my video review of the Tonic Nuvo Embellishment mousses. If you'd like another video, do let me know in comments, because as I said before, I've only shown a few of the techniques you can do, and there are so many more that I'd love to share. So if you'd be interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. Let me know which one of these is your favourite card as well. Are you with me? Are you loving this one, or do you prefer one of the other two? I'd really like to know. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope this has been useful. I hope you'll give some of the techniques a try, and let me know what you think in comments. So I'll be back soon with more videos. Until then, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.